To understand what money truly is, we have to go back to our earliest ancestors. When humans lived as hunter-gatherers, there was no need for money. Nature provided food, shelter, and meaning. Desires were simple, and survival depended directly on the environment, not on systems. But everything changed when humans discovered farming. Agriculture tied people to land. Villages formed. Populations grew. Humans became deeply social creatures, dependent on cooperation, exchange, and trust. At that moment, a problem appeared. Human desires expanded beyond what nature alone could provide. So we created something artificial, a system that could fulfill those desires and be accepted by society. That system is money. Even today, money itself has no inherent usefulness. You can't eat it. You can't wear it. You can't even buy a pen without it. And even the greatest scientific innovation becomes useless if it cannot fit into the money system, a topic we'll explore later. The earliest form of this system was barter. People exchanged goods directly, grain for tools, meat for clothing. But barter came with serious limitations. You had to find someone who wanted exactly what you had and had exactly what you wanted in return. There was no common measure of value. How many fish equal one cow? Many goods were difficult to store and spoiled quickly. Trade was slow, inefficient, and unreliable. Because of these problems, societies evolved a better solution. Commodity money. This was money made from physical goods that already had intrinsic value, things people trusted and valued on their own. Communities agreed to use these commodities as a common medium of exchange. Across history, many objects served this role: gold, silver, and copper. Livestock like cows, goats, and sheep. Grains such as barley and corn. Cowrie shells, salt, tobacco, and even animal pelt. Money was no longer just about trade. It was about trust. Then came a major breakthrough. Around the 7th century BCE, the Kingdom of Lydia issued the first government-backed coins, made from electrum and stamped with a lion symbol. Almost simultaneously, China began minting standardized bronze coins, often shaped like farming tools such as knives and spades. Coins changed everything. They standardized value. They made wealth portable. They enabled long-distance trade. They allowed economies to grow beyond local boundaries. Coins also became tools of power. Empires issued their own currency not just to boost trade, but to project authority. Coins carried the faces of rulers, religious symbols, and political messages. They told people who ruled them, and often, who their gods were. As trade expanded across regions and continents, carrying large amounts of metal became impractical and dangerous. Gold was heavy. Transporting it attracted thieves. Large transactions became risky. So merchants and goldsmiths introduced a new idea: paper receipts. These were promises, claims on gold or silver stored safely elsewhere. People began trading the paper itself instead of the metal. Trust replaced weight. Eventually, governments and central banks took control of this system to standardize currency, prevent fraud, and regulate supply. Paper money wasn't adopted as an experiment. It was a necessity. Paper was lighter, safer, cheaper to produce than mining precious metals. And, most importantly, it allowed governments to adjust the money supply to meet economic needs. This led to the gold standard. Under this system, paper money was directly linked to gold. Every note represented a fixed amount of gold stored in reserves. It created stability, but also strict limitations. On August 15, 1971, the system ended. U.S. President Richard Nixon announced the cancellation of dollar-to-gold convertibility, an event known as the Nixon shock.
Of the Treasury to take the action necessary to defend the dollar.
This decision effectively ended the Bretton Woods system and removed gold from the heart of global money. After that, money became something entirely new, not backed by gold, but by trust and power. Soon after, the United States and Saudi Arabia formed a crucial agreement. Oil would be sold exclusively in U.S. dollars. This created constant global demand for the dollar. Countries needed dollars to buy oil. Oil demand reinforced dollar dominance, and the dollar became the world's primary reserve currency. This system still operates today, but change is coming. Some countries are exploring trade in other currencies, such as the Chinese yuan. Money began as survival. It became trust, then power, and now it is entering its next transformation.